Can you get a nice blurry background with a smartphone? Well, you can, and in this video I'll give you an overview on how you can get this. Hey, what's up guys, Julian from smartphonefilmmakingpro.com here, the ultimate online course about smartphone filmmaking. And we all love the blurred background. This gives the image kind of like a professional feeling. And getting a look like this with a smartphone is pretty hard, because the image sensor on a smartphone is very tiny compared to a regular photo or video camera sensor. But there are a few tips and tricks and ways on how you can get this look, and in this video I'll give you an overview. So number one is the easiest, and that is to just go super close to your subject. If you film something that is very close, you will get a super nice looking blurry background. It is super simple and it works with basically every phone. And it of course also works in photo mode and in video mode. And I usually like using this for close-up shots with super slow motion, where I just have a blurry image and just some parts in focus. I think this looks very good. Number two is a tip for interviews or talking headshots in general, and this is to blur the background in the post-production. And this is actually not super hard to achieve, and it works pretty well if you do it carefully. And I'm not going super in depth on how you can do that, but basically you just draw a mask around the person, you invert it, and then you apply a Gaussian blur filter. You definitely have to track the mask and the movement of the person to really sell the effect. But if you are more into filmmaking, this is definitely a good way, and as I've said, it's pretty simple. So number three is a new option, and an option that I think has the most potential, and that is blurring the background through software in real time on your smartphone. We all know the portrait mode on our smartphones for photos, and it works amazingly well, and the photos you get look stunning. But for videos there was just no real option until now. Recently the app ProTake got updated and added a portrait video feature. At the moment it only works on the iPhone 12 Pro because this has a LiDAR sensor, and that is what is used for this effect. It uses the information that the LiDAR sensor of the iPhone 12 captures, and it blurs out all the rest. Theoretically, this has a ton of potential, and I think this will be the future. At the moment it's definitely not perfect, and it has a lot of limitations. Like for example, it only works at 1080p, it doesn't support the image stabilization of the iPhone, and you can control the exposure manually. But in ideal situations the results look pretty sweet, and I am curious on what the future will bring, because once this truly works, this will in fact be a game changer. And the last option is a depth of field adapter, like for example from Ulanzi. This allows you to put, for example, Canon EF glass on your smartphone. I have to admit I have not tested this myself, and there are definitely some limitations and quirks with an adapter like this. But if you already have a lot of Canon EF glass like I do, this is actually a very interesting option. However, for just a normal smartphone filmmaker, this probably is not the best option for sure, since this adapter costs $200, and also the EF glass is pretty expensive. So there you have a little overview over the different options on how you can get a blurry background on your smartphone. And as I've said, I won't go into more detail now because this is just an overview. And in case you have more questions about any of these methods specifically, well then just make sure to write it down in the comments. And in case you want to learn more about smartphone filmmaking, make sure to click the very first link just below that like button, because there you can watch my free webinar where I teach the top 5 secrets to achieving cinematic smartphone footage. But that's basically it for this quick little video, and as always, if you guys have any further questions, please let me know.